welcome to the 118th solo episode. This is your moment, your pause, your place to come back to yourself. I'm Esther Buerki, author of Living Without Fear and co-creator of the Amazon bestseller Inspired Journeys. Whatever brought you here, I'm honored to be with you. If today's episode speaks to you or brings someone to mind, please pass it on. Let's keep spreading light. And if you want to stay close, subscribe to my newsletter or connect with me on YouTube. Your presence, your heart, your time, they mean the world to me. Thank you for being here. And today I'd like to speak about relationships and the fears that are involved in it. My biggest fears were that I give love and I get treated poorly, or I trust someone and they leave me without any explanation. What are your particular fears in relationship? Is it the fear of not being good enough or giving all and not receiving anything back? I've had a lot of relationships where I felt home at the beginning because this person had the same emotional wounds than I had, and so we matched perfectly. But then I worked on my issues and the relationship didn't work anymore because the other person didn't want to develop new skills. And it was clear to me that I had to leave. Or I had relationships where I was feeling very happy and I put a lot of energy into it. I organized a lot, I helped a lot, and suddenly this person didn't make the time to meet again and seemed extremely busy. Whatever I tried didn't work, and at the end, this person just disappeared from my life, and I didn't know why. Because I was so hurt, I didn't dare to ask for the reasons. I thought I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't a good person, and I put all the blame on me. Have you experienced something similar? But in my case, I love connecting with other people. I searched for new connections and I found new relationships. I expected a lot and I got disappointed. And I always had to think of my mom because what she taught me as a teenager was exactly this. She had her girlfriends and she was very happy about them. But suddenly there was a break. Her best friend didn't visit anymore and my mom was depressed. When I asked her what happened, she answered that her best friend had upset her because she didn't react the way my mom had expected from her. So my mom stopped calling her and kept staying in this upset mode for many weeks. And then suddenly this friend came by again and they took off again until the next breakup. I remember this happened many times during the years until I reached 20. Why I am telling you this? I'm sure that I unconsciously repeated the relationship patterns I was taught by my mom because she was the first role model for me as a child. And of course, I also took things from my father and his pattern. And his pattern was, you cannot trust anyone. Which relationship patterns did your parents have, and what did you take from them? What was helpful? What wasn't? What is blocking you of having a beautiful and healthy relationship now? I can give you another example of a relationship which formed me in my young adulthood. I had a rather close relationship with my brother, who is 4 years younger than me. When I left my family to live a year abroad in Paris, he got into a cult, and after a few years, he totally stopped the relationship with our family and didn't respond to our messages for over 10 years. This has shaped me as well. But let's come back to the topic expectations in a relationship. Expectations can ruin everything. Whenever you expect something and you believe that you have the right to have this in a relationship, you create a big danger. And if you don't talk about what you expect from the other person, it is even more dangerous. When you communicate your expectations and when the other person can tell you clearly that they can or cannot fulfill your expectations, this is a better starting point. But the best thing to do, and I have to repeat this to myself all the time regarding my 2 adult sons, treat your expectations as appreciations, and your life totally shifts. When you appreciate what is, you program yourself for positive things. When you wait for what should be coming and it is not, you get angry, you feel upset, and you spend a lot of time in negative energy. So that's why it is so important to focus on the small, beautiful things that exist in your relationships. Do you follow? Let's get back to another fear that can block us in our relationships. The fear of not being good enough. When you feel not being good enough and you need your friend or your partner to validate you to feel enough, you need to change this. You can talk about it and get helped by your friend or a therapist or a coach. But it is important that you do the work to feel enough within you first. If I take my parents again as an example, I realized that they never experienced unconditional love. So, for this reason, they could not give it to their 2 children. And when I see now my 90-year-old father, he's suffering a lot because whenever I don't agree with him now, he takes it against him. And when I tell him that I haven't anything against him, but that I love him, he doesn't believe me. He has never experienced being loved. He cannot receive my love. Do you get it? What I also learned in the past, it takes courage to ask a friend why they withdraw or why they don't respond to the messages. In the past, I always took it against me, and I didn't dare to ask questions because I was afraid they would blame me for something in the relationship, and they would tell me that I wasn't a pleasant friend. But I tell you, it is so interesting to ask questions and hear from a person why they didn't get in touch with me anymore or why they didn't create time to meet. Believe me, you can learn so much about others and yourself by asking questions and listening. It also takes courage to give in a relationship. and not expect anything back. I learned from my parents that you always have to give back the same that you received from the other person. There must be an equilibrium, and if there isn't, there is something off. On my healing path in the last few years, I came to the conclusion that I want to give and not expect anything back. The universe provides for the rest. I can give something to someone and receive something back from a totally different person. So that's why I stopped calculating and thinking less. But honestly, it is an ongoing journey. I cannot change a lifelong pattern in one day. Being patient with ourselves is crucial. So if you would like to work on your fears in your relationships and get conscious about your expectations, let me know. I'm very grateful to guide you because I know myself. It is important to have someone who has already done the work. Also, if this episode touched you, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts on Instagram, YouTube, or per email. Thank you, dear listener, for spending your precious time with me. You're amazing, and you are a gift to everyone who crosses your path. If no one has told you this today, let me say it again. You're worthy, you deserve to be loved, and you matter. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next week.